Afternoon session is going to be the session of action. Where do we go from here? We have had so much of talk in the morning and all our lives. Where do we go from here? And to put us on this path of action is no other than our well-known, respected and beloved Dato Jega. I think Dato needs no introduction, so I won't waste any time and I'll put him straight on the mic and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Hari Om. My dear brothers and sisters and respected elders, the Vaiti chairman who's been the motivating force to bring this program about, Brother Pradeep, who has been a real dynamo, Brother Dina, I was showing this Dina. This gentleman has been working day and night for this program. This program has been the result of many people getting together to work very hard. Before I start, those of you who know my practice, what I normally do, just too bad you're going to hear it again. I normally start every session with a song. So all of you must join me. Like a bhajan will sing. First we'll just chant. I need always, when I speak, I need God's help. So I invoke all the gods to make sure they're all around again. So they may have God during lunchtime now. We'll chant the Ganapati Gayatri. Some of you may know it, some may not know it, so just follow me. 3 Oms. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganapadaye Namaha. Om Ganapadaye Namaha. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe. Vakradundaya Dhimahi. Tanno Dandi Prachodayat. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Guru Mantra. Gurur Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sarvamangala Mangali. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvadat Sarine Sharanye Triyambage Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Murugan. Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. Om Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. Om Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. Gopal, Gopal, Gopal Nandalala. Wait, you know why I'm singing Gopal today? Why I'm starting with Gopal? Huh? So let's make sure you also hear, so let's all celebrate his birthday. So let's all sing Gopal today. Later we'll have a Tamil bhajan, but I think Gopal, Gopal, Gopal Nandalala. Gopal, Gopal, Gopal Nandalala. Every every bhajan we sing we are talking to God in the language of song. And every bhajan we must sing with a full heart and soul. As though it's the last bhajan you're ever going to sing. If anything happens to you halfway, moksha straight away. But unfortunately, no one had a chance to get moksha like that whenever I sang with it. So I don't think it'll happen today. So anyhow, so please sing with all your heart and soul. Clap your hands in rhythm. Keep the beat. Let's get the vibration going. Okay. Gopal, 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 Nandalala. Gopal, 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 Nandalala. Gopal, 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 Nandalala. That's better than singing Happy Birthday Gopala, right? Dear brothers and sisters, I'm actually, at this point of time, what I need is not a mic, but a bed. I have just arrived actually from Mumbai. My day is actually, today is not 24 hours, but 48 hours. I left on Saturday for Lahore, Pakistan. I'm actually, many of you know, I retired from government service and now I'm a consultant for UNIDO and UNCTAD. And basically I'm focusing on Africa. So in October this year, I'm leading a major Asian business delegation to Africa. And in this context, we are going around the whole of Asia to brief industrialists about this program. So last Sunday we left for Lahore, Pakistan. Can you imagine, I had a briefing session with industrialists in Lahore, Pakistan on Monday. Tuesday was a briefing in Delhi. Wednesday we flew to Chennai. Thursday briefing in Chennai. Fourth day briefing in Bombay. And I left Bombay, I had a meeting on Saturday morning in Bombay at 11 o'clock. I took the 4 o'clock flight to Chennai, stayed at the airport until midnight, 1 a.m. flight we took, we landed here at 6:45 a.m., 7 a.m. this morning. One of my side brothers came and picked me up, and I had to quickly go through all the notes. I went home at about 8 o'clock. 11 o'clock I had to address the Satyasai Surgical Council AGM, we held in the Malaysian Flying Hall. Then I came here. So I haven't slept for actually more than 24 hours. So if suddenly halfway through, my problem is not that you all are sleeping, I may go to sleep, you see. So if I do go to sleep halfway, just give me a pillow. But I'm very, very excited and happy to be here. This exhaustion is exhaustion of love. And I am only praying that God gives me the strength to move, because I just come here now, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm here. Thursday I fly to Zimbabwe. I've got a 5-10, I've got a 6-day program in Zimbabwe. I come back to Zimbabwe, 3 days later I go to Chicago. So nothing. For me, the word retirement has a new meaning. I'm tired again and again, so retired. But programs like this gives me the Shakti and energy to move on. But before I start the program proper, I would like to be honored. I would like to, can you imagine what I'm saying? By our Uncle Vaiti. Some of you may know that I've been plunging into my religion, Hinduism, since I was 32 years old. Now I'm alive old, 57. So before 32 years old, for 32 years of my life, I was an atheist, agnostic. For me, Hinduism was a joke. I've never attended a Sangat session like this. I think all mad fellows coming here. I go to the temple and I see, all the people praying. And I used to encourage others to pray. All the weak-minded fellows must go and pray. Strong-minded people like me not pray. 21 years old, I joined the government service. 1967, May 13th came, as you all know. We were the heart of the May 13th, after May 13th, we were the heart of the government program in Maida to turn the country around. We were the economic biscuits. I used to, 24, 25, I was working with prime ministers and ministers around the world. Who needed God? But then, 32 years old, something happened in my life. And I began to look at my religion. I thought my religion one time was a funny religion. What kind of religion? I go to a temple, what do I see? I see fellows bring coconut, and then putting vibhuti. I ask them, why you bring God? No one knows. Why you put vibhuti? No one knows. Then I look at the temple, I see what cow is there, rat is there, peacock is there, a whole zoo is there. Then the house, we kill the rat, and then the temple we pray to the rat. I'm asking why? No one could answer the questions. No adult could answer my questions. Okay, don't ask questions, just do. So this actually began to move me away from my religion. But then after this, I began to plunge in, and I realized, my God, this religion is not a religion of superstition, the religion of incredible science, And I went around universities and colleges talking. That's when Suresh, came to my life, and it's a great gift. Incredibly brilliant man. Then I decided I couldn't keep on, and I remember now, for many years I used to give talks on Hinduism here, in this hall, right in this hall, every fortnight. But you see, I was very busy fellow. I was prepared to come every fortnight to give talks on Hinduism, to understand the symbolisms of God forms. What is God's message? Suppose imagine a Ganapati. Everyone prays Ganapati. If I ask any Hindu, what is Ganapati's message to you? What's your answer? I've gone around the world on a subject. What's Ganapati's message? They all blink. Remove obstacles. No, that is his function. We are asking him, what is his message to you? What does he want you to do so that you can remove obstacles? Break coconut, then remove obstacles. What? No one knew. So I can imagine why this conversion is taking place now. Supposing your children go to school and the friends ask, hey, what is Ganapati? What's the message? Hey, is Christ got a message, Prophet got a message. What Ganapati got a message? Okay lah, Murugan, the one with the poke with the veil. The one with the poke with the veil, tell me what his message. No one knows. Our youngsters don't know. They come home and ask questions. Parents don't know the answer. In the school they ask questions, come home, don't ask questions. But then I realized my religion was a religion of science, incredible science. So first I began to give talks on this. Then I realized that I could not divide myself, so much, and I got a small team of youngsters came around me who used to follow me and picked up some of the things, and they began to expand on their own. Then one day in this hall I was talking, and then one fellow was sitting in the hall. I don't know whether he's here today. I'll tell you later, I'll mention his name. He came forward and said, Mr. Jega, I mean, what I'm hearing from you is fantastic and very interesting. Why don't you put everything in a video, so that my children can also, I can show my children. He said, brother, what, put in a video? You take a lot of expensive, where am I going to get video first, put recording, all this. No, brother, I'm a film producer, I'll do it for you. So we went and started recording this whole thing. The result of this over time, we've come out with, first we did on videos. Now I've done about 3 CDs. It's called Hinduism, the movie. Like Superman, the movie, Star Wars, the movie, Hinduism, the movie. Now, the first 2 also, now we have 3 volumes of this Hinduism movie, and the latest one, volume 3, was in the first 2 was done only in Malaysia. But then I got in contact with Mr. Balachandran, film producer, Indian film producer, his son-in-law. I got to know him very well. He's sitting on the hall today, Kandaswamy. And he's Kandaswamy, Kandaswamy is there, Kandaswamy is here. We did it here, and then we did the last one. We also did some shooting, did a movie magic, in Chennai. So we did, and it's just out. So I've asked Uncle Vaiti very humbly, Uncle, please do me the honor to launch today. I've never launched this theatre officially. So that what better function, opportunity, in front of professionals and others who are interested in Hinduism, to ask Uncle to officially launch it. And then say a few words, and then we've got some excerpts from this particular thing you can have a look at. And then I will start the session. Okay, Uncle. Raj?
Brother Jega, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it indeed gives me great pleasure in launching this series of video cassettes. I remember, I may not have been the first, but way back, I was one of those who purchased video cassette, which is part 1. And I've also been fortunate to have purchased part 2, part 1 and 2 when it came into VCD. And I'm delighted that part 3, with the able technical help from Mr. Kandasamy, I just have fortunate enough to see. I think you will remember in K. Balachandran's films, there is always, not mistaken, Pushpa Kandasamy. Yes. That is his wife. And Kandasamy, of course, is a son-in-law, very much involved. And I wish to congratulate Brother Jega. Jega, I have known him right from the days when I was in the Hindu youth movement. And he was a very popular speaker with the Hindu youths, and was popular demand, but he never had the time when he was in service. Anyway, now in spite of his very busy and heavy schedule, I think he has a little more time for religion. And you can see this goes on throughout the world. And I'm really happy that these 3 VCDs are being launched officially. And let me tell you something. You have heard so many speeches today. Many of them were trying to emphasize the meanings of symbols and so on. And here in these 3 VCDs, you have not brought your younger professional children here. Some of the older ones are here. And your children, of course, couldn't come here. if they could see what is here, they will understand what meanings are for their various temple worship, the symbols, and what the images of our gods are. Today, Suresh was trying to explain to you, and this is in simple language. Jaga's own way of speaking has explained so that even the young kids could understand. And just doesn't go on either only Shaivite or Vaishnavite, it's meant for all. So I am indeed honored that he has given me the opportunity to officially launch this, and my appeal to Brother Kandasamy is that he will assist us in converting this or improving on it and converting it into the Tamil language as well, because this is in the English language, and that will mean that this will cover the whole country and all the population. If it is necessary to be in Hindi, I'm sure Padip Kumar will also get the sponsorship for that. Let us have more VCDs which will be meaningful. Sometimes when you see the cinemas, I'm sorry, but it doesn't happen with K. Balachandra's films. But you will see sometimes utter rubbish, making a mockery of the Hindu religion. So let us have more VCDs following this. Thank you, Jega, for this.
I think like this coming attraction, the movie, I'm just showing some excerpts. So you know what you're getting involved with.
Enamored by the don't work for fruits. Fruits may come to you, but
by this Kamadalu, which is creation and knowledge. This is basically the concept of Brahma. Now, why is it that Brahma is not worshipped by Hindus? What does Vishnu hold in his hands? In two hands, balanced proportionately, Vishnu holds one hand, the chakra. Here we have now, on one hand, the chakra. It is called the discus. Here the chakra. Normally it's called Sudarshana chakra. Sudarshana chakra. Su, good. Darshan, view. Chakra. You turn to me, I turn to you. It's the message that the Devas give us. Ravana accumulated so much merit. And it's not easy to destroy such a man for so much karmic credit in his name. In the bank. Therefore, you imagine now all our merit is like a bank balance. Okay? So much credit is there in the bank balance. Unless the bank balance is, or the money is withdrawn, and the credit becomes a debit position, he very difficult to destroy. So what they do? Then the drama was created. Because and this is a warning to man. One of the greatest things that can deplete your karmic bank balance is women. Now, very interesting at this point of time, I would like to mention, though we say Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and we therefore have Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Durga. Why is that? We never say Saraswati, Lakshmi, Durga. We always say Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Is it because it is easier to say, or is there an inner significance to this particular mentioning of names like this? The energy in the universe is actually, in a very scientific way, is made up of this energy of rajas, activity, and tamas, dullness, inertia, and sattva, balance. Now, man is part of prakriti. Man is part of nature. So whatever is in nature is in man. So let us look at its various qualities, okay? Rajas, let's take Rajas. What does Rajas represent in nature? What is in nature is in man. So in Rajas in nature represents dynamic activity, the explosion of the volcanic explosion, earthquake, the fiery sun, tidal waves, whirlwind, tornadoes. These are the Rajas aspect of nature. As for nature comes into man, the Rajasic qualities manifest in terms of anger, passion, violence. This is Rajasic within man. Selfless love. You love someone not because another person loves, just love, like the sun gives equal light to all, radiance of love to everyone. And then do selfless service. Do work, but don't get attached to the fruits of the action. Do your best. Spirituality in essence is nothing more than we fulfilling every dharma in our life to excellence. Let us try to become the best father, the best mother, the best son, the best daughter, not by comparing with others, but to the best of our ability. This is the program called Track, okay? It's something we launch here, tradition, religion, expression, culture. So much for the commercials, right? Anyway, I mean, in fact, for me, one of the wonderful things that when I did this was I'm getting letters from India. People are asking me India to send me that they want the tapes. So that was a very great honor. Dear friends, today I'm going to touch upon two sections, my presentation in two ways. Look at the program. One is continuing the issue of the science of Hinduism, continuing about to understand a bit more. Dr. Suresh in his presentation earlier today talked about this power. I just want to touch a bit on this, okay? You see, if all of us pray, so many mantras, in fact, so many mantras in Hinduism, you know that many people don't know all the mantras. You know? And many people chant the mantras without knowing the meaning. Everybody chant mantras. Even this Vaiko Sofa or Shiva Purana. Namachivaya Valgana, Tantal Valga, every funeral it is said as though only for funerals meant. And then ask anybody what's the meaning, no one knows. No? Though the author of this particular poem, in the last third line, second line, he says, in that partin porul unandu padava. He says, you must please understand the meaning of the song and sing. But no one bothers, you know. Ayya, we are already singing your part of your Devaram. Why some of you are thinking some of you must know the meaning also. But that, so we chant so many mantras. Om Triyambakam Vijamahe Shivantim Pushtivardhanam Muruvar, on and on and on and on. So one friend of mine, you know, I had a friend of mine who did this. This fellow, what he did was, he learned all the mantras in the book. He learned every mantra that's in the book. For example, you know today, do you know that today some mantras today, like the Gayatri mantra for example, today the Gayatri mantra is being chanted by more people than when it originated those days. Today many Westerners, many Chinese, in Malaysia some of the Chinese side would all chanting Gayatri. And the power of this Gayatri. It is said that if you forget any of the mantra, don't forget the Gayatri. You know the origin of Gayatri? The Rig Veda, Sama Veda. Vishwamitra, he received this Gayatri. These mantras were received by great rishis in the past. Through meditation, they received the sound and they gave it to mankind. Possibly, I think, many of the rishis only knew that one mantra. Vishwamitra probably knew Gayatri. He used the Gayatri like a vehicle, one vehicle. He used the Gayatri mantra as his vehicle and smashed through the doors of Kingdom of Heaven and reached moksha. Today, we learn everybody's mantra. We learn everybody's mantra and chant it without knowing what the meaning is. Om Bhurvasvadat Savitturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayad Om Trim. Now I had a friend of mine who went to these classes for children and learned all these mantras. Every morning at 4 a.m. he'll get up, sit down in front of his altar. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namo Om Gam Ganapati Namadat Purushaya Vitmahi Vakrutundaya Dhimahi Dhanno Danti Prachodayad Om Triambakam Jayanu, on and on and on and on. 1 hour every day, morning, 1 hour mantra. 2, 3 years, 4 years, finally God got fed up. So who won't get fed up? He wake him up 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. And suddenly this altar exploded. And then divinity Shiva, the dum 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 dum. And then the voice of Shiva thundered in his prayer room. My son, come. So God's voice something like that. You don't believe? Okay, one day you'll find out. Okay, anyhow. So he said, my son, come. Where, Swami? I've come to take you from this world. Swami, permanently or temporarily? Forever and ever, my son. So Swami, why don't take me? My son, for years and years and years you've been praying to me, take me, take me, take me. I've come to take you. But Swami, where I asked you to take me, Swami? My son, in the mantras you are chanting, by now God is getting me fed up already. But in the mantras you are chanting, Swami, which mantra, Swami? The third mantra, Swami, I'll never chant the mantra again, leave me alone. Devotees, this program we launched called Track is Hinduism is understanding Hinduism. Hinduism is not a religion of superstition. Hinduism is not a religion of that we cannot find answers. Hinduism, every question can be answered in a scientific manner. Many of you may know this program called Track we launched, Pradeep here and Latansi Kishu and many of them, even Uncle Vaidya, all were founders of the Track program. Some of you remember we did this world's biggest column, was done in Bangsa, world biggest column in the Guinness Book of Records. Subsequently, I've launched the Track in Sydney, Perth, Fiji, Jakarta, Toronto, New York and Los Angeles, and right now, next month when I go to Los Angeles, 2-day track session in Los Angeles. The theme is understanding Hinduism. Now I must tell all of you here something. We did this column here to 1,500 square foot and became the world's largest. Why we did this? Not to get a world record. If I ask youngsters, young girls, come learn to do column, they say, what, you learn to do column, old fashioned. But you put a challenge to them. Take part in a 1,500 square foot column. 500 youth took part. 500 youth took part. I mean, put a condition. Only those below 35 years can do. The way you learn from the adults. Ladies 40 years old came to me, Jega, can we also include, can you put 40 and below? So finally 40 and below, world's biggest column, 1,500 square feet. What happened? Then after that, many homes started putting column in front of the house of Deepavali. Even my own home, my wife started putting column in front. Every morning she put just home in front of it. Because we understood why, the meaning of this. Now what happened, I'm sad to say, we have lost our record. Toronto, last month, did the similar program, track program. 3,000 square feet. Massive. They emailed, I sent a copy to uncle, I mean, this is the inspiration, Can you imagine how many youngsters took part in this? This is the tradition, it's a traditional art form. How many youngsters know this nowadays? It should be the birthright to every youngster to know at least simple column you do. At least for Diwali, no, I asked auntie to do, I don't know. I can do makeup. Now, no harm in that, I'm not discouraging them. Dear brothers and sisters, like this now, we get to launch programs like this. We've gone round the world on track, for this particular program to give people understanding of the religion. Let me just, for example, now many of you, can you bring the whiteboard? Many of you have children. And today, what's happening is, what is the biggest complaint here we're having here? Not only here, in other parts of the world. I just saw in India, I was in India, just now, the Indian newspapers carried news that some of the Hindus, killed some Christian priests, because they were converting to Hinduism. I'll tell you what happened in my own experience in Malaysia. Many years ago, when I was still working in the government, I used to give talks on Hinduism. In this Amman temple below Angkasapuri, you know what's Angkasapuri? I used to give talks there. Every Friday lunchtime, 12:30 I'll go there, and there'll be a government service, we'll about 50-60 people will be there, give talks. One day, one person came, one of the guys came to me, he said, Dato Jega, this I need a long man.
Hello.
He said, Jega, big problem, he said. I said, what? If you go to this Christians all, they take the Hindu, they go to the estates, and then they take all the Hindus there, give them food, and then give them clothing, and take them to a hall, and then Mariamma goes inside, comes out as Mary. Munyani goes there, comes out as Matthews. So what shall we do about it, he asked me. I said, very good one. He said, what do you mean very good, brother? I said, brother, why would anyone want to change the religion? Apparently he thinks that thing can give him something better. What the brother? No, he doesn't got everything. I said, fine. Brother, listen. If the Christian is prepared to go to the estate with Hindus are there and talk about Christianity, why? Are you prepared to go to the estate and talk to the Hindus about Hinduism? No time, brother. No time. That will a Christian, lot of time. What is that? He loves his religion. He wants to go and do something about his religion. How can we fault him? Of course, we only against people forcibly making things, okay? But you can talk about your religion. Go. This is the problem. We got. We complain. We sit in the bar and say, somebody should do something about Hinduism. I'm telling you, I'm in the sauna and the lake club. Hindu problem, Somebody should do something. Who? Now there's a government to do. Government must protect Hinduism. Shame. 5,000 years this religion has stood the test of time. We have Swami Vivekananda went to the West and stormed the West. Okay? This religion, you want the government to protect this religion. Come. Where are the young adults? Why is this program being held? Where are the young, successful young adults? Professionals, business people. If only retired people and people who don't succeed so well go and stand in front of Hinduism and talk like this. How can we inspire the youngsters? We want successful people, scientists, engineers, doctors, lawyers, business people. People like pretty successful, you think he's got nothing else to do. He runs a big business empire, he's growing. But the Give time. Ah, brother, I want to give my time. But when I retire, I am very busy. I asked him, show me a certificate. So what certificate? What certificate show me that you will be here in 5 years' time? What guarantee you got in 5 years? You think all the guys in the mortuary today thought they were going to be there in the mortuary today? Time is now. My time is now. Oh, when I retire, get what is? Ask yourself, if there is a God, if you believe there is a God and you want to serve this God, what time God will appreciate? When you have already retired, nothing else to do, sitting at the house, sitting at home, drinking coffee in the morning, after reading newspapers, Sun and Star, telling, darling, today very boring, what to do today? The Hindu Sangam is organizing a charity program. Oh yes, can we go for that thing? Time to go for that one. Oh, we'll go. No, so much time to spare, then you want to go. But imagine now you're a young executive. You're a doctor, lawyer, engineer, businessman, you got no time, no time. But you take the time, because I want to dedicate this time to God. You take the time and give God. Which time God will appreciate it? If you believe there's a God, that is the time. That is sacrifice. This is the kind of Hindus we want. We will make this challenge. This Hindu, the Millennium Hindus, okay? No more the pathetic crying and saying, yeah, help me, help me. The Bhagavad Gita, what it says, by yourself, pull yourself up. For you are your own best friend. You are your own worst enemy. We know this. Dear brothers and sisters, let me tell you one glimpse. What we should tell our children. See, our children, they're all coming up, Today, only what is the thing that's attracted them today? Television. Today, the globalization impact is now moving. TV is coming, VCR is coming, your internet is coming. Everything is pounding in them. The Alvin Toffler, who wrote the book called Future Shock. This syndrome is not only for us, for everybody. Chinese are facing this challenge. Malays are facing this challenge. The future shock syndrome. For the future is rushing into our lives at a faster pace than any other time in human civilization. Today, whatever happens in America, bump into your TV. Your kids know about it. Before the American neighbor knows, your kids know. The future is changing the lives, slamming into your house. Look at your families. Would you allow your friend or a stranger to come to your house and make love on your settee or kiss and make love? What Jega, you're talking nonsense. Yes, it's happening every day. Your kids are watching, the TV. They're kissing, mooching. Do you know? I tell you what, right now. 15 years ago, how old were the people who were kissing on television? American TV. How old? Cary Grant, Stuart Granger, Rock Hudson, 30, 40 years old. Today, have you seen TV? How old the kids are kissing on TV? How old? Do you know how old? 12, 13, 14 years old, you're kissing on TV. Your son, your daughter is watching, or your son is watching, he's 20 years old already. My, 13 years already doing it, huh? I'm 20 years old, I haven't had a chance. Now this fellow, all he wants to do is try, He doesn't care which girl he gets. Greatest number of paraquat drinkers in the country, who? Who? Indians. Why? Because Indian girls love the taste of paraquat. Because of this. I ask you a question, everybody. Imagine our religion. What's wrong with our religion? I will tell you what's wrong. This religion that has withstood this test of time, 5000 BC till now. But today the graveyard of Hinduism is that in the home of Hinduism. For example, if there are 4 religious processions in the streets today, 4, okay? Christian procession, Buddhist procession, Muslim procession, and Hindu procession. In which religious procession you think youngsters will be there whistling and dancing disco? In the Christian procession? No. Hello? No. Buddhist procession? No. Muslim procession? No. Hindu procession? Yes. Why? Why? No, you think the Hindus haven't got the kind of courage and the love for their religion? But no one is guiding them. For them it's a religion of superstition. Come on, no. We do. Anything goes. Who are the leaders? Who are the leaders standing in front of them? Come, follow me. I see this in front of you. Today actually I raised my hands in prayer. So many of you have come. This, can you imagine, we dad put this session for only business professionals, business executive professionals. Why? This is the generation. It depends upon you. The future of Hinduism doesn't depend upon people like Uncle Vaidya, myself. Tomorrow I'm dead. Okay? The space I'm leaving tomorrow, I may die faster. First be in a plane, close to the airline. Okay? When I'm singing a bhajan. Actually, I could go when I'm singing a bhajan. And when I say straightly moksha. But we need people, 25, 30, 35, 40, come forward. Because in you lies the future of Hinduism. This is science. Simple science of Hinduism. So let's show you some elements of it. I just show you glimpses, just glimpses to understand the greatness of what you have. I tell you once, one doctor, an Indian doctor, telephones me in my house. I'll tell you why I launched this program of track. Why I began to commit myself so strongly to the religion. I'll tell you why. You must understand this heart I'm talking about. Why? Firstly, because I never understood my religion, okay? Until 32, I wanted to answer questions. And that moved me away from my religion. Then what happened? Once one incident happened, I'll tell you what it is. There's a wedding ceremony. I attended a Hindu wedding ceremony of one Sai brother of mine. This boy, they met the local girl, the daughter. The boy is from engineer from UK. He's come for the wedding. Now I go for the wedding dressed in my finery, real wedding jippa, nice doll, next day. This fellow comes to the wedding, into the manam, he comes into the hall with the big, Nadasuma playing. He has the button open like this, Mapla, engineer, button open like this. And his talapa, with a bit, like the cowboy's hat. Then he sits on the manavara, he sits on the bridal desk and he's watching this yatna going on, homam going on. Now this guy knows that so people are watching him, he doesn't care. You know what he's doing? I mean, he's showing undisguised contempt for what's going on. For him it's a pagan ceremony he has to go through because he wants to marry this girl. He'd have preferred to go and sign the register and go home, and have the honeymoon. Instead of making Chiran already. Then some friends of his are sitting by the side. He looks at me. I was very angry, I wanted to go up to him and tell him, if you don't respect your own wedding, I would have come in my t-shirt. I would have done it actually. But then I paused. I cannot blame the youngster. Because the one finger I point at him saying, why are you not respecting your religion? 3 fingers pointing at me, Because we adults have failed. Abdicate our responsibility to make these youngsters understand the power of the ceremony going on there. What is the inner significance of it? If they understand the inner significance, my God, they will love what's going on. I tell you, when I got married, that time I was an atheist, okay? But somebody explained to me this Ammi story. You know this Ammi? You know the grinding stone? Now, okay, the North Indians don't have grinding stone, right? Yeah. Grinding stone, okay, see, everybody uses grinding stone. Now, the modern fellow will say, look, Amma, why grinding stone? We can use a summit mixer. Function same, we use summit mixer, we can use it. Why? Fortunately, when I got married, I was thinking the joke, this whole ceremony anyway, but somebody explained to me the significance of this Ammi. I'll tell you, and this for me, in the entire wedding, I didn't know what's going on. The priest was doing his thing, okay? But this particular part, when I went down on my knees and touched my wife's foot, my late wife's foot, okay, and put it on the Ammi, for me was the most significant part of the ceremony. You know what the meaning of this is? The husband, in Hindu tradition, the wife does Parnamaskam husband. Husband has to touch the wife's foot. But on that day, in front of the public, he's falling at his feet and touching the wife and telling the wife, my reputation, my entire reputation is like this granite stone, strong, unbreakable. Granite is strongest rock in the world, you can't break it. But one crack comes in the granite stone, it splits apart. My entire reputation now, I put at your feet. Please protect my reputation. What a powerful meaning. What a one indiscretion can put shame on you. What a powerful message. Yet I remember in a previous occasion, when one doctor was marrying one girl, the doctor got late married, 45 years old. So he is used to his ways. I still remember that ceremony, uncle of mine. They went to this, he followed all the ceremony. In fact, he wanted to smoke so badly, he wanted his irritation. Anyway, finally they came to the army part. No one told him, just told him, do, he was doing. Came to the army part, they told him, no, catch the girl's leg and put in the army. The arranged marriage, not love marriage. Why should I touch your feet? He's asking the man, do. Why? I said, take and put. No, you must take it. Why? Of course, the adults couldn't explain why, That's what it is. You know that, and then can you imagine? You go to a Christian wedding ceremony, look at the vows, they say all kinds of vows, and then to death do us part. Okay, now they put death or divorce, doesn't matter, do us part. Don't laugh, Hindus are coming very soon. Islam. Islam, they will not conduct a wedding, the Imam will not conduct unless you pass an exam. They have this public exams, No. Hinduism, the most complicated wedding ceremony in the world. No one knows what's happening. No vows. The only wedding, no vows. Dear friends, do you know that the most incredible, beautiful marriage vows in Hinduism, it's called Saptapada, the 7 steps. And each North and South Indians have a different time when you do this, The North Indians do it when they go around the fire. South Indians, at least the Sri Lankan people do it when from the first time you get up the Manavara and go towards the Ammi, that 7 steps, Well, I knew about this. When my cousin got married, lawyer, got married here, I went to this temple priest, I said, I said, listen, you are conducting all these weddings. You are chanting, the marriage vows are being chanted. The marriage vows not, but the priest is chanting it. The priest is chanting the marriage vows in proxy for the bride and groom. Of course, the bride don't know he's chanting all this, okay? So I told this priest, you're chanting all this, doing all these marriages, you're chanting your marriage vows, your marriage is going on very well, the marriage you're conducting all collapsing, So I said, listen, for my cousin, I want him to repeat the marriage vows in English. I don't care. He said, yes, do it. So I had a mic there, and I had a translation, and then, one by one step. You know what the reason? My dear, I will guard you, guide you, cherish you with my life. Then the girl will say, I will look after you, I will love you. I mean, so beautiful the marriage was 5,000 years ago. My cousin was so embarrassed because during his courtship he never told such beautiful words. I am telling temple authorities, I am telling Kalamatam people so many times, do not allow a wedding to be conducted here. Do you want money? Every marriage couple, Hindu hall, before they get, let them come to 1 or 2 days before, 1 week before. Explain to them the inner significant rituals you are doing. Let them take 1 hour to come and explain. This will enrich the wedding ceremony of theirs. And have someone explaining this. These are some of the track programs we're trying to do. Now another one, this lawyer, this doctor, his son had gone to New Zealand to do aeronautic engineering. Now the son is coming back. He calls me, Dato Jega, I want your help. I said, what? My son has gone to New Zealand to do aeronautic engineering. He's coming back, he's come back already. He wants to become a Christian. Can you please help me? I said, brother, if you want me to talk bad about Christianity, I cannot. Why? Because I'm Hindu. Yammadam sammadam, eham sat prabhadu vadanti. If I condemn another religion, I condemn my own religion. Let the other fool condemn his religion, doesn't realize what God is one. But I will not do that. My religion says, eham sat prabhadu vadanti. God is one, truth is one. Wise men know him by many names. Fools divide. But I won't condemn Christianity. And somehow being a side devotee, I also have Malta, I have Buddha, Christian, applies everybody. God is one for me. But if you want me to tell him about Hinduism, I'll tell him. So they brought the boy. Now I'm a very busy fellow, but I had to spend 3 hours with this boy. I'll tell you what happened. This boy came, very nice boy, polite fellow, polite, good looking, dashing young man. Before we could start, he said, uncle, forgive me uncle, can I ask you a question before we start? I said, yes son, ask us. Uncle, God will always tell the truth, yes or not? Aeronautic engineer is asking a dumb civil servant. I'm a civil servant, Uncle, God will always tell the truth, yes or not? I knew there was a trap somewhere in the question. So I answered, I said, see, it depends upon your perception of truth. I said, okay, check. It depends upon your perception of truth. He replied, Uncle, how can you talk about truth is truth? How can they possess a perception of truth? I said, okay, listen, I am only a civil servant, you are a good engineer. But let me explain a scientific manner. If I take a piece of ice and put here in front of you and tell this ice, it is truth. In 10 minutes time, it is no more truth, it is water. In half an hour's time, it will disappear. So what is truth? So truth is tempered by time and space. If you understand the simple law, then we can proceed. So then he proceeded. You know what he asked me? He asked me all the questions that I asked when I was in my atheist days. Why so many gods? Why God said wives, 2 wives, 3 wives? Why so many sons? Why the gods can't, they have animals going to take them around? Why caste system in Hinduism? How can you demean humanity? Man is one. This he went on and on and on. And every question he asked a legitimate question, which your children are asking, and I'm sure, which your children are asking. Of course, they may quietly not mention it to you, but in the mind they're asking, what's all this thinking? What's the answer? But finally what happened was, this boy, halfway through, or towards the end, he mentioned, are we Christians, he said. Then I knew, he's already converted. So no point wasting time. I said, listen, you already converted, you already Christian, be a good Christian, he said. Only follow one commandment, honor thy father and mother. That's all. Love God, love your neighbor, don't do service. Finish, do service. Bhakti yoga, karma yoga, that's Christian teaching. Then I went to the father, I said, listen, your fault, I said. What teaching of your religion you ever gave your son? Now what do you want? You want him to have a label as a Hindu and not know anything about his religion, not practice anything, go to bar and drink? At least you want to be a Christian, let him follow Christianity, let him be a good Christian at least. Heaven's sake. This is the challenge. This is the problem. So this is what we must face now. On one level of understanding Hinduism. I tell everybody that when I talked about religion, when I go overseas, in Sydney for example, we have had the Hindu track session, 2-day sessions, track morning and afternoon. For 3 years running. The first year we had 400 people. Second year we had 600 people. This January we went 1,000 people. Uncle, what was there? The number was there. 1,000 Hindus packed the hall. 60% of them youngsters. Okay? People could not believe. The youngsters would sit down for 2 days and listen to all. Why? The teaching is the same, but we're packaging it differently. We're giving the science of it. Not because, all of you must believe God. God is very, Murugan is very great. You must know, Shivaya, go away. That evangelical Christian groups are taking away Christians from the mainline church. Why? They're packaging it. They're giving them bhajan songs and they give them dynamic manner. So they vibrate so that religion becomes an exciting thing. Religion must be exciting, How can religion is dull and boring, how can it attract the heart? Religion must touch your heart. And if your children don't know your religion, what is that? I tell you one simple thing that stuns people, okay? I tell them, look at that. Western science. Take Western science. For many, many centuries, Western science taught that the sun was the center of the universe. And that all the earth and all the planets went around the sun. Sorry, for centuries the Western science thought that earth was the center of the universe. And the sun and all the planets went around the earth. You know this? Yes. It's a fact, okay? Now, who was the first person, Western scientist, who thought, hey, hold on, not true. Sun is center, who was it? Who was it? Huh? No, correct. Galileo, no, okay. Actually, before Galileo, Copernicus. Copernicus mathematically indicated there's a possibility that actually sun is center. And Galileo proved it with the telescope. Now, when Copernicus and Galileo declared this truth to the Western world, were they honored? Were they given a Pumala and put in, what happened to them? They were ostracized, they were condemned, they were put in jail, okay, as for heresy. Dear friends, all the youth here, this thing only 200 years ago, Western science understood it. But do you know that 5,000 years ago, our spiritual ancestors knew this secret? That they knew the sun was the center of the universe and the planets go around this. You want proof of this? Go and see any Hindu temple, the Navagraha. The sun is center, the planets are going around. The Hindu temple is a scientific laboratory. Hindu temple is not a center of superstition, breaking coconuts. It's a center of science. But what is happening is one day one guy told me, Jega, you know what the problem of Hinduism? He said, I said, what? Of course, there are many problems in Hinduism, but what specific problem are you referring to? I asked him. He said, you know, Jega, if you go to a church, then the priest, will after the prayers, he'll explain the religion, okay? He'll explain the Bible or whatever it is. You go to the mosque, the mullah, the ustad, after the prayers, he'll explain about the Quran. So Hindu temple, what happened? Ding, 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 break coconut, put flowers, nobody explaining anything, I said, no, that's where you're wrong. In the Hindu temple, the devas are talking to us. Murugan is talking to us. Ganapati is talking to us. Amma is talking to us. But they're talking to us in the language of symbolisms. So we have become ignorant. We have become illiterate in the language of the gods. Dear brothers and sisters, our ancestors made one mistake. They gave us the symbols, but they forgot to explain the meanings. You think what is Ganapati holding in his hands? Why? What is Ganapati's message to us? What is Murugan's message to us? Can you imagine when somebody asks your children, hey, what kind of God you got? This woman got tongue hanging like that, skull all blood dripping, like a monster. You pray to the kind of God. Can you imagine your daughter is asked, or son is asked this question? What are your chances? No, I don't believe, no, my parents believe. They say that, surely don't get out of it. No, I don't believe all that, my parents believe. But do you know that's a fantastic scientific simple inner significance that if you understand that? This is what we're trying to do to awaken Hindus about their religion. First thing. Second thing, imagine, dear friends, imagine, look at our religion, okay? Look at our religion. What's happened to our religion? Look at the ancient religions.